Come with me and you'll see how to draw from your imagination. I will teach everyone in the nation. Hello, everybody. My name is RODGON. I'm an artist. I'm a designer. I'm a cartoonist. I'm an illustrator. I have been art director, comic book artist, editor, lead artist, concept artist, character designer, animator, and pretty much everything that you can possibly think of in that sense. And I am here to be your instructor today into the world of little magical art. So, hi. If you have never joined us for a lesson, let me explain what we normally do. Normally, I spend my days talking about how to be able to draw things in the ways that you guys like drawing. I spend my days explaining to you the concepts behind all the magical styles that you guys think about and you guys want to learn to draw. And I give you the tools to unlock the ability to draw all of them. Not just a select amount of styles. No, I teach you guys how to unlock your brain so you guys can do anything. Yesterday, we were talking about eyeballs. We were talking about how the eye is 3 circles. And then it's 2 overlapping lines. If you learn how to play with thick to thin line work, it becomes really easy to draw eyes. So understanding that you can do it that simple was the big component yesterday in our lesson, and I believe people had fun learning. So, what should we learn today? Okay, let's see. Somebody suggested feet. So we could do feet. We could talk about feet, and we can explain how to draw feet a little bit better. All the confusing parts of the bumps and the ankles and the bones and everything. How to make them have depth, how to make them and draw them when you want to draw them simple. How do you draw them complex? Or we could also talk about things like shoes and understanding how those things work alongside your feet. How you can learn to do everything super simple if you just learn a little bit about how to draw through your shapes. And if you just learn to draw through your shapes, things like shoes become really simple. Even the complicated ones become really simple to draw. Because the shoe in itself is not really all that complicated. It's more like, it just follows this. This right here. If you learn how to draw this, you can draw foot. What is this? It's like an L shape, right? It's kind of like an L. If you learn this and you draw a circle right here, you have access to drawing an ankle. Now, you can add toes, you can add claws, you can add anything you feel like. Long fingers. Whatever it is that you feel like adding to the end of that, you can make anything you want. I particularly like human feet, so I just do that. I add a toe and I add toes. Done. So when I'm drawing my shapes, I go like this. If I need to add shoes, I don't need any extra details. I just already have my surfaces, so I can just go ahead and add shoes. If I want to make it into an actual barefooted foot thingy, well, I already have my toes, so I just go in and detail them. So understanding that you can make it simple is one thing, right? But understanding why I can make it simple, but it's hard for you, that's going to be our topic today, okay? Our topic today is going to be, why do other people find it so much easier to draw than me? Okay? Why is it that somebody can look at a happy face and be able to draw it really cool, and somebody can just do it generically? Right? How can someone make something so simple, so incredibly unique? This is your imagination. If you ever want to test out, if you have a very, very, very high imaginative state, see how many faces you can draw by simply drawing a happy face emojis. Okay? Do yourself that favor one day and see how many you can come up with. This is a test of your imagination. The same thing happens when you are looking at something as simple as a little L shape, right? This can be anything. This could be a toe, this could be a hand, this could easily be a hand. Very easily. Because hands and feet are very similar to each other. The only difference between a hand and a foot is the fact that you have a thumb and these are long. So instead of making them long and no thumb, you keep no thumb and shorter fingers. You have yourself a foot. So hands and feet are very similar, quite similar actually. So whenever you learn to draw one of them, odds are you'll be able to draw the other. If that's a foot, right? Well, if I just needed to add a thumb connected to my wrist and make these longer, ta-da, I have myself a hand. This is not magic. Right? It's not magic. It's literally just the concept of look at what is inside of it. What is inside of your hand is a bone. It's like your ankle or your wrist, right? It's two bones that connect right here. And then right here, you have some knuckles, right? Which is the big bone right here. It's nice and circly for our convenience, right? And then from there, all the bones connect to the middle of your wrist. So your hand is kind of like a fan. So whenever you fan it out from your wrist, you have access to knowing where your fingers are going to go, right? That is a little bit easier to understand. If you move these, it's going to change the direction of the hand. Your thumb is going to come from the wrist connection, not from the middle of your palm. It's going to come from your connection to your wrist. You draw the base, and then you end up with a little triangle. The little triangle is that connecting webby part between your fingers. So that is how you figure that out without really doing anything, right? So you do that. You don't need that for your toes, for your feet. So your feet are the same thing. You have your ankle that connects right here, different bones, but same thing. Then you have a big toe, and then you have a bunch of little. It's the same exact thing. That and that, only these are long, and they're more movable, and they have a thumb. This, your thumb is right here, and you have an extra finger on the front. That's it. That's the only difference. So once we understand that, we can learn that if we make this a simple shape, this could be a hand by just adding an extra triangle. That's it. All we do is connect the triangle to the wrist, and we have a hand. So, ta-da, ta-da. Now you have hands. Now you want to draw it differently? Draw it this way. The connecting point right here is where your triangle is going to go. Okay? Draw your other fingers, and you have simple hands, which will later translate to something more kind of. Like, don't be fooled by the concept of it being simple. The concept being simple is the reason why you're able to draw any style with these things. Okay? Because it makes it so that you can apply any line work and be okay with it. So if you know that your hand is literally just a little pointy thing, which is your toe or your finger, your first finger in the base of your wrist. You can draw another triangle just to make the base. You already have this one, and decide how big your fingers are going to be. And you have yourself hands. Bend your fingers in different directions, and you have yourself hand expressions. The thumb can go into any direction as well. So it's kind of cool. So once you understand one, which is this little weird master shape, from there, you can make this a hand by adding a little triangle to the connecting part. Ta-da! And this is my first finger. I add more fingers as needed. And there's a surface. So all you need is this. All you need to do is learn this. This, draw a circle, and you have an ankle or a wrist. And from here, if you want to draw a thumb, the thumb goes like that. It flows in. Normally, it cuts into the wrist, providing a top and the bottom to your wrist. That's normally what happens. And then your fingers sit there. You can provide a surface. What pen do I use? I just use a normal Bic. Okay, so I need your guys' help with something. I am noticing that whenever lately, I'm not seeing much love in the heart department. I'm not. I haven't been seeing it. No. I think you guys forgot that that's the cost of entry to this class. The cost of entry is feeding my ego as much as possible because I am not that humble. The trick to getting me to do these more and never ever losing my motivation to do these things is to make sure to hit that little like button. Feed my ego. Just I'll feed your talents as artists. I will feed your skills and your knowledge. Just feed my ego a little bit. Make me feel cool. That is all. So like that shit. And keep hitting it. Let's get to like 100,000. That's all that I ask. Hit that little like button. Okay. So let's continue on. Rod, you taught me to see shapes and everything should be fearless. Hey, yeah, Steven. That is exactly what my aim is. My aim is to make you guys better, but not make you guys better through osmosis, right? I don't want you guys to just copy me. I want you guys to actually understand what we're talking about so that you may be able to draw things even though you're not having me around. So that you may be able to still be able to draw everything regardless of me being there to instruct you or not. My goal is not to have you guys be dependent on my lessons. It's for you guys to be independent and be able to do this stuff on your own. I don't want you to rely on me. I don't want to need to be relied for. It's lovely that sometimes you guys do and stuff, but that's defeating the purpose of being a teacher. My purpose as a teacher is to make sure that you guys are okay doing things without me. My goal is and should always be to make you guys not need me anymore. That is the ultimate goal of any teacher. And that's the goal of, that's the goal that I set myself forth. If I can make it so you guys never have to listen to my shit again, or my little bad singing and all that stuff. If you don't ever have to do that again, I win. Because that means that you guys grew beyond what I can teach you. And if I could taught you solid foundations, really solid foundations, then you don't have to worry about, later on, like, oh, what's my style? You'll find it. The moment that you start learning through foundational work, your style comes through because now your imagination's allowed to be out. now you are able to do through things your imagination wants to. It's not just copying somebody else. At one point, you'll find that it's your brain unlocks that ability if you play enough with it, you practice enough with it, and enough time passes that where you are studying what you're drawing, and then things just click. Things just click. It's weird, but you have to be proactive towards it. You have to actively search for that knowledge and not just taking classes. No. Like, no, I cannot emphasize enough that it's not about going to a fucking class. Okay, it's not about taking another life drawing class, another, I don't know, whatever they call them classes. No, it's about going and living your life and journaling and observing and looking at things and being analytical and not hating yourself after telling yourself that maybe something's bad so that you may be able to fix it. That is the journey. The journey is not taking a quadrillion lessons from famous people that made it. No, that's not the point. No. If you do that and that's all you do to improve, you're missing the point. You're trying to be an individual in this, right? You're trying to make yourself stand out from other people. So you need to observe a world like how you observe it. You have to learn to observe the world through your own eyes. And that takes a while. That takes a little bit of courage. That takes living your life. That means falling in love, going to get your heart broken, going on the trip that you've always wanted, going to visit the places you've always dreamed about. Stuff like that. That's the stuff that you have to sit and do. And that's the tough part about being an artist, because a lot of the times we are introverted people and we don't like doing that shit. So it's kind of like a chore to go out and do that stuff. We're like tiptoeing through like everything, trying to like make sure that we just do enough where we can keep on going, but not enough that you have to engage with anyone. And I know because that's me. That's me every day of my life. Every day of my life, it's a struggle to be like, do I need to go out of the house today? Do I need to go do this today? Do I need to do something for anyone today because I don't want to? But does anybody need me right now? So that is essentially why sometimes it's really tough for us as artists to get out and do anything, because the world is interesting to us, but it bores us. It bores us because it's the real life is no comparison to what's inside our brains. It isn't. I could have an entire day's conversation with myself. Actually, I do that every single time I stream. That's kind of funny, huh? But understanding that I could literally just have my own entertainment and be super happy for like weeks at a time. Not days, weeks, months, shit, even years if I wanted to. Right? If I could get away with it, I'd probably disappear for a year just by myself and then like just contact people through cell phones and shit. Because my brain doesn't like human beings. Everyone that I let close hurts me. Everyone that I love leaves me. Every single person that tells me that I'm like hireable and wants me to work for them abandons you in the workplace, because I don't know. It's just that's the way the life has treated me. So I just don't trust people. Like, I feel like I just got the shit end of the stick a lot of the times. And it's through bad decisions that I made. You know, I learned through experiences. And that's why I like to make sure that people don't go through those same experiences. And that's also why I teach. Because I don't want people to suffer and go through that garbage like I did. It's just like you try to make the next generation have it easier than you, right? Like that's the goal. I've always thought that's the goal. I've always assumed that the goal is to, if once you get to a certain point and you're able to pass on knowledge comfortably without feeling that your job is in danger because you're gonna give someone else knowledge. God damn, I hate people that think like that. Like, it's so incredibly detrimental to our community as artists. So incredibly, stupidly, like, and dumb to think that because you are teaching a younger person that you are going to be at risk. God, that is the stupidest thing that any older artist can think of. Like, no joke, like, it pisses me off when people think like that. Like, it's the ignorance. The ignorance involved in thinking like that is beyond like any narcissistic feeling that you might have. Like, I don't want to teach anyone, then I won't get work. You know how insecure you must be in your artwork to feel like someone that you are barely training or teaching or showing something, that they would take over your job. How little confidence do you have in your work that you would feel that's the case, right? You know, I get it. If that's, you know, that's a lot of the times that's insecurity that you can't really like change, you know? And, you know, the unfortunate part is that there's certain industries that have this more predominantly. And I don't care about calling them out because, quite frankly, very few people in those industries have ever clicked with me, mostly because of that mentality. And the most prevalent of these industries is the tattoo industry. The tattoo industry is so predominantly like determined by arrogant assholes that think they're godly in their skills, but they're not. They're overinflated cells of egos. It makes me laugh. It really does make me laugh. It commands a lot of humor out of me, especially when they can't even draw a straight line in their portfolios. Right? I love it. I love meeting tattoo artists. Why? Because I like testing them. I like testing tattoo artists. I like going like, oh, can you like draw this for me real fast? And then I'll draw it right in front of them. Like, oh, okay. Oh, can you draw this? Oh, okay, cool. Can you draw a straight line? Oh, okay, cool. Can you do that? And I just constantly, like, whenever they're arrogant and like cocky, it's almost like a game to me. Yes, that is, I don't have like a Mr. Rogers personality, guys. I am a little bit of a devious person when it comes down to things like that. For the same reason I don't like humans. A lot of times humans don't like me because I'm constantly testing people because I'm bored. I just get bored with humans. I just get so bored that I just start making my own little social experiments in my head. And they come out when people are being mean, when people are being mean-spirited or bullying people or just being Karens. That's when those little social experiments come out, and it's so fun. It's so fun sometimes. Like, honestly, it's one of the most fun things you can think about when you're just honestly trying to make someone's life a little nightmarish for a little bit. Like, not in a way that would be like considered harassment, but in a way that you know. When you know. If you've ever been around other humans and you know you want to be a little petty, you know. So let's not even pretend you guys aren't thinking the same thing I am. Oh shit. Whoa. That's a lot of donations, dude. First of all, thank you. You're awesome. I will give you, since you just donated like 100 and something diamonds, and I don't know what a diamond means. I really don't. I don't think I've ever even linked a bank account to TikTok. So I have a balance that I've been just having saved up there, and I've never even checked how much that is. It's probably not much. It's probably like a couple $100. But it's just more like, cool. Now I get to like buy myself a cool new pool stick or something like that if I ever decide to like actually link it. 1 diamond is 1 penny. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you for the $1, bro. Do you work with charcoal? I can, but it's messy. Like, charcoal is just really messy. It's just another quicker way. I kind of like using markers for stuff like that, like Crayolas, because I can do the same effect, right? I can get the same effect of charcoal by just smudging it, but it's a little bit more controllable. It's not as messy, and I can draw on both sides of my paper without having to worry about going through my stuff. And the levels that I can control it to is much, much more precise. And it gives you a very similar, not quite exactly the same, but it gives you a nice little feathery look. That is why you go into charcoal, with the ability to also do little fine lining things to help you create contrast. Little tiny sharp edges combined with thicker edges and softer line work can lead to beautiful, beautiful results. With a simple Crayola marker. So I don't really see a need for me to play with charcoal when I can get that same look and same effect, same concept with even a simple crayon or a marker. It take a little longer, but very easily doable. I don't think you guys see me finish any drawings very often. It's funny, every single time that I do, like the Velma or the Misty that I'm finishing right now, right? Every single time that I do a pinup on a character that I like think is iconic or whatever, there's always people like that hate. So many people, just like little haters that pop out, and he's like, I'm like, whoa, why are you so angry that I drew something? Why are you so angry that, oh my God, why is there like someone that's always angry about something, right? Something or other. So, oh, this person did this. Well, my life must be miserable. Like, that's all I hear. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to see what I can complain about on the internet. Oh my God. Like, that type of people are the people that make me not want to do things in public and life. Like, I just want to hide away so I never have to run into those idiots. So yeah, just a little bit of white and everything pops. A tiny bit of white. Ta-da! So, like I said, I don't really need charcoal if I have something like this. And these are like $1 and they last forever. Like, they literally last forever. Forever. Like, no joke. You can just smudge away at first to get a base color, and then go in and do whatever details you want and just build up the details slowly. It's kind of like working with watercolor. The level of rendering can be different. You don't have to always keep it The reason you guys don't see me draw like this more often is because this takes a while and it's really hard for me to explain everything that I'm doing. I normally could tell you I'm building up the values, I'm doing this, I'm doing that alongside with the line work, but since a lot of that is instinctual for me, right? Just because I know like contrast beyond like a certain level, I haven't yet developed the way to be able to explain that side of things for you. So that's the reason that I don't normally do that. I'm also colorblind. So I don't really go into color very often because I'm afraid that I'm going to give you guys bad advice. So I don't like going into topics that I'm not particularly good at. I don't like teaching things bad. Okay, I don't like teaching things wrong. And because I think that that hurts people more than giving knowledge away, making people believe that what you're teaching is right, even though it might not be, that hurts people much more. That is much more like dangerous for a up and coming artist than you just sharing your knowledge. Sharing your knowledge and them trusting you to have it be valid and then having it be like miscellaneous, like bad information is what ends up hurting people more. Oh, let's make him cry. Little tear. I'll take your job if you did more. Wouldn't have guessed that you were colorblind. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a red-green colorblind. So it's very hard for me to see skin tones the way that I'm supposed to. And that's why portraiture is really hard for me. Not impossible. Definitely not impossible, but it's definitely more of a chore. When you learn to use a tool, however you decide to use it, learn to use it at its maximum state, right? Understand that you're going to have the ability to use a tool in a bunch of different ways. A bunch of different ways. You don't have to use a tool exactly how other people have taught you. The reason that I like drawing with cheap highlighters and stuff like that is because you can do the same thing I'm doing with this Crayola marker. You can do the same thing with any basic highlighter. So I like using like pastel-y highlighters or really, really bright yellow. Like these. And I like doing the same thing. I like enhancing a piece and then blurring it out. So it looks a little bit more like an enhanced little sketch. Any sketch that I add that little tiny treatment to is gonna make it look like an important sketch. Boom, focal point, boom, done. See what I mean? Anything that I highlight is gonna be the highlight of that sketch. And I can even make other guidelines so you can see how other circles are in there. And then it becomes a lesson. So I can use color as a beneficial tool whenever I'm teaching, which is kind of cool. All right. Any other questions, my friends? We have about half a page left. So you guys are welcome to ask away, but as you guys ask away, make sure that you guys are hitting that like button. this is how you guys help me reach more people. Would you have any idea how to draw a Gundam? Robots in general are relatively simple, mostly because our bodies kind of look like robots as is, right? So if we go with my approach, which is the egg and the compass allow you to have an upper body like that. An arrow or two circles going around or a sphere with two circles on the bottom. Either way you can envision it, give you your hip bones, and those hip bones give you access to legs. Okay? The legs taper, so I like to do just tapery shapes. And then from here, we have our arms that go out and out. Out and out. Cool. Volume inside. All right, so now once we have this, let's bring this arm out here this way so that doesn't get in the way. Our armor, if you're gonna draw Gundams and stuff like that, it's just armor on top of like a body structure that's more human. So everything that you draw is gonna be based on human structure. You're gonna have to learn to draw a lot more perspective stuff because it's all boxes and has edges and stuff like that. But the actual concept itself is very similar to just learning how to draw a very basic human. You just get to choose different body parts, looking a little bit more blocky, a little bit less blocky, stuff like that. Okay? As a matter of fact, it would just be stiffer, so it'd be a lot easier to draw a robot than it would be to draw a human because you can segment things a little bit easier. Let's see. Let's add some bulky stuff. And then when you learn anatomy, as you learn anatomy, you learn how to segment things like your kneecaps, and armor becomes a lot easier to draw. And then from there, you can just build them up as much as you want, change the shape of the horns, whatever, you know? It's really dependent on what type of Gundam, what type of character you want to create. Make them wider. You can make like really wide ones with little tiny heads. You know, you don't have to keep to that ratio that I just drew. It could be any ratio you want, but as long as you keep that same notion, it's going to look a lot better. And then you can have your humans. Yeah, anatomy is fun. Anatomy is really fun. A lot of people don't like studying anatomy, though. I don't know why. Once you understand anatomy, it becomes so easy to be able to draw your things in different positions and stuff. A lot of the times, I really don't understand why people don't just take like a month out of their life to learn how to draw simple overlapping shapes. Right? Simple overlapping shapes and a little bit of anatomy, a little bit. Give you access to pretty much drawing your body, doing anything you want. Okay, you don't have to know every muscle structure. You just need to know how to overlap some shapes. Because if you learn to overlap shapes, you're not going to be afraid to be able to draw through your elements. And that is a very key component in knowing how to draw things cool. Could you draw pyro? No. Do you have about book websites or anything that can help me study anatomy specifically? Well, anatomy is going to be, you can just go to my YouTube channel and just search for the topics that you want. if you just go onto my channel and just generally chill around in the videos, like you'll find a video that talks about any specific body part. I have gone over this topic maybe a good 100 times, easily 100 times. And I don't mind, you know, like doing it over and over and over because I get better every single time I do it. So you can go to my YouTube channel and you can go find it because there's like 580 videos plus now on YouTube. 500. You can just go to my links and go find them. It's the same name. It's RODGON. If you just type in RODGON on Google, I'm a very well-known person. I'm known worldwide. What type of sketchbooks do I use? I use Danique, Illo, and Sketch Wallets books. So the top companies I use are Danique, Illo, or Sketch Wallet. Those are the three ones that I've really liked. I also used to like the Canson 180 sketchbooks, but these are really thin paper. These are really, really thin paper. Moleskines are really good too, but they're expensive. Then we have Render sketchbooks. I think it's Render, R-E-N-D-R, Render. These are really good because you can draw with marker on both sides, but they're really expensive and they don't have many pages. So I don't really recommend them as well. Unless you really, really like painting or really doing heavy acrylic stuff. If you like really, really acrylic-y or heavy paint or like Copic marker stuff, those Render books are amazing because I don't know what they do to their paper, but they layer it or something like that so it doesn't bleed. No matter what you do, it doesn't bleed. So it's really cool. Let's see. So one distance and then the base of the nose. So I've been going and observing people now. So about 1 eye distance is that little gap that you have in between your eye and your cheek. It's about 1 eye's worth of space. And then after that, you have the ball of the nose, which is where you have your nostril, you have your general shape of your nose, but you have about 1 eye width separating that creates a little pocket. And I've been studying that little tiny little pocket for like a week, trying to figure it out. And it finally made sense that that little pocket essentially is your cheekbone. So that little pocket right there is your cheekbone, and it tucks in. Your eyebrow comes out of the edge of your eye, and it rotates around. So this is how your eyebrow works. So it goes from the outside of your eye back onto your nose bridge, creating volume right here. Which that is really cool because now I understand the little pockets that happen with my eyeball. So now I understand this section a lot more just because I observed that little tiny nuance of it being 1 eyeball, and then I found the nostril. That's it. That was all it took, just a little observation. And now I know how to draw that part spaced out properly. That's kind of cool. Can you draw a robot? Let's see. Let's see. I am a robot. I am here to facilitate your drawing experience. I am Servatron. My Servatron would have a mohawk though, because he's edgy like that. Where's my iced coffee, Servatron? Iced coffee coming, you little bitch. Sweet Saturday learning. Okay, so how to draw cats. You want to know the easiest way to draw any cute animal? Any cute animal, okay? Not just cats, but do this. Take any shape. Any shape. Let's start with a box and a circle. Easy, right? That's easy. So a circle or a box. You're going to split it in half. Okay? On the bottom section, you're going to choose the size of your mouth or your snout. If you want to draw a little tiny character, you can just draw a little tiny circle and a circle. Okay? If you want to draw anything with a bigger snout, you can draw a bigger snout. From there, find out what type of nose your character has. If it's a cat, it's normally like a little V, because their little nostrils go like that. Okay? Cats have a little tiny triangles. So that comes from observation, right? So if we want to draw a cat, we can split this, split it in 4, draw a little circle, and then draw a little triangle. I can connect little muzzle, and the little nose is kind of like a little heart, like an upside down heart. From there, your eyes, just keep them below the midline. And then from the edges here, you can make it have its little tussles. The ears, depending on what type of cat you have, the ears would come out from there. And then you would draw the top of the head into whatever markings they have. And you have a cat. You can draw the little bottom of the body like a little cone, maybe draw a little circle and a tail. You know, you don't have to complicate it too much. So circle, 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 diamond, round it out, draw myself a little tussle, and draw myself a little bit of some eyes. My kitty is so cute. My kitties are so pretty. Draw them like a trombone. So you don't have to complicate them too much. You can change the ears to be any animal you want. Could be a bunny. Could be a horse. No, not a horse, but a horse could be drawn like that too, I guess. So with anything that has a long snout, draw the initial base circle and then draw the other shape that you want for the snout. So you connect it and then you have yourself a little snout. So you can draw a horse. Giraffes, stuff like that as well. And red panda is easy. Red pandas are literally just circle, really close circles, and then 2 little triangles with 2 big ears. And then you draw a little black trombone. And you have yourself a little red panda. A gecko? Let's see if we can draw a gecko. Box, circle, circle. The gecko is going to have a wider nose. gonna have our eyes on the side, and maybe the head is gonna be a little smaller because the gecko in itself has its eyes on the top of the head. There you go. That works. Nice. Gecko, gecko, gecko. Maybe the mouth would be bigger though. Sheep for my son. I'm not really sure what sheep look like. I just know from like Wallace and Gromit and stuff like that. Let's see. Let's try to make a better sheep. Hold on. It's gonna be like a little fluffy cloud. I don't really know what they look like. Have I ever seen a jerboa? No. Oh, can you draw a toucan? Ooh, toucans are cool. So, again, box. Split it. Draw the base of my nose. And then I draw how it extends out. I can draw one eye over here, one eye on this side. Round out the head. Give this little stripies. And I believe toucans have like markings or something. But not really sure. I think that's too small of a beak for a toucan. I think toucans have like gigantic beaks. All right, so today we learned a little bit about hands. Today we learned a little bit about feet and how they are very similar. Today we had a little bit of fun understanding how a hand and a foot can differentiate from each other and how we can simplify these things a little bit more so that we may be able to use them with artistic expression instead of always waiting to see how somebody else drew something. Learning how to draw shoes is going to be consistently about learning how to draw this basic shape and then learning how to give it depth in different ways. Learning how to draw this basic shape can teach you how to draw pretty much any sort of footwear. So you don't have to complicate it too much. And then that same shape turns into hands if you just add a triangle and you continue that for your finger. Okay, so understanding that your feet and your hands are not very similar, are more different from each other than you think, will help facilitate the learning process for you as well. A hand is no different than a foot with a really long fingers and a thumb. That's essentially it. Okay, I can't explain, but being able to draw as well as you can is so cool. I'm jealous. Yeah, I like to think that I'm pretty cool. The way that I can draw so freely, it's not even funny. Like absolutely anything that comes to my mind, I can draw it. It's really fun to have that ability, not gonna lie. But that is ability that is trained. It's not an ability that I was born with. I was not born with the intuitive ability to be able to see shapes or anything. I was actually a really bad artist at first. I was incredibly bad. I was horrible. I was terrible. I'm just an obsessive human being. And by being obsessive, I got a lot more practice than other people. I got a lot more observation than other people. I studied a lot more than other people, and I crammed my brain full of knowledge that allowed me to surpass people that had all the skills that I wish I would have had when I was younger, right? I used to look at people that could see things like volume and stuff like that, like, oh, suckers, you only need one style to be able to grow. Once you get one style, you're good. No, 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 no. As good of a salesperson as I am, which I am a very good salesperson, I still would not be able to build a whole career based on a single style. It's just kind of dumb to think about it like that, right? Because you're putting yourself in a very small bubble when you don't have to. You don't really have to think of yourself putting yourself in a bubble if you understand what you're drawing. If you're able to learn how it is that you learn, particularly, like if you learn how to absorb information, that's key number one. And then after that, it's finding an instructor that actually teaches you shit that actually makes sense to you. And that's where people like me come in. That's where people like me can guide you. But I can't do the work for you. I can only provide you the knowledge so that you may be able to go out and pursue that click moment yourself. Does that make any sense? Thank you so much for the 34,000 people that liked my stream today. You guys are the MVPs. You guys are the bee's knees. You guys are the reason that I do this. You feed my ego beyond anything else anybody else does. Tell me I'm cool. Tell me I'm pretty. Make me feel like a prom king. And I will give you guys the knowledge of the world of art. Oh yeah, I'm not shy about asking for people to tell me I'm awesome. I'm not ever been shy about that. I am humble to a certain extent. I'm humble until I get to brag a little bit about the stuff that I've lived through and worked on and done for myself, because I am incredibly proud of my career. I have done a lot and I have received very little help, which just makes me feel even prouder of everything that I've achieved. And when days are tough, those moments where you feel proud of yourself, man, those are the ones that really matter. Those are the days that you're like, oh, fuck, why am I doing this shit? Oh, why am I doing this? You remember those days. You're like, oh, because I was good at this, and I won this, and I challenged this person, and I accomplished this, and I was able to do this. Little tiny measurements of accomplishment and pride are what get you through the day. Little baby ones, right? You might not realize it, but that's the reason that you are still doing this. Because at one point, someone praised you for doing something creative. And that person deserves all the love in the world from you. Because that one human being is the reason you're doing what you're doing. So, as your homework tonight, I want you to message somebody that has made you have some measure of pride in yourself. Someone that always supported you, someone that always was there for you. Your homework tonight is not drawing. Your homework tonight is to thank someone that has helped you along your journey. So you may not really just think that you did everything yourself. Okay? And I'll do the same thing too. Go ahead. I will message every single person that I feel has brought some measure of joy to me and support. Because a lot of the times we forget to thank those people. And when we forget to thank those people enough, that support goes away. So be appreciative of those people around you. Be appreciative of those people that support you. Love them, care for them. Look out for them if you need if they need it, because those people are very valuable in life. And you might be surprised to understand that without them, you probably wouldn't be where you are. So regardless of it being a solo journey, because a lot of us do go through a solo journey, you're not necessarily always without support. And even me, a person that does tackle most of these things on his own, I still require human beings in there that are kind to me, they're joyful to me, that make me feel like I value something. And those people are the ones that I love and I cherish the most. And I think you guys should embrace that and tell them how awesome they are as well today. That's your homework. Sorry if you don't like it. If you're not a mushy person, man, you chose the wrong teacher to follow. Because I'm mushy as shit. I just love people and I care about people the way that I wish I was cared for. Right? And that's what I push heavily onto others. The golden rule: teach people how to love you through loving them the way that you wish to be loved. That's the way I see it. Have a lovely day, everybody. You guys kick some butt. You guys enjoy the rest of your evenings. And I hope you guys learned a little bit today. I hope you guys learned a little. I hope you guys learned a lot. And I hope you guys have a fantastic Saturday. If you guys go out to party, be safe. Be careful. I want to see you guys all tomorrow, okay? Later, Gators. See you guys soon. Favorite teachers out. Bye. I'm gonna start taking my screenshots for my videos now from the beginning at the end of the videos, so you guys will know kind of what the covers are gonna be. Let's see. I always forget to do this before, and then I am always trying to like take screenshots from the actual like videos. All right, later, Gators. I'll see you guys next time. One more. There you go. That one looks kind of good right there. Boom. There you go. Later, Gators.